Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. Liverpool are the champions, the Premier League champions, and look, I suppose through gritted teeth, I might say it as a Manchester United fan, but we do this every year on That's Football and we're not going to do it any different now. If you win the Premier League over a 38-game season, which Liverpool will do and have done, then you do deserve to be given the title, unless you're going to get done with a load of charges we don't know about. But we don't know anything about that with Liverpool, so we must be respectful in the fact that they've won the title. And there's a few things I would hit as headlines that maybe the mainstream media won't do. First of all, Mo Salah's going to win Player of the Year, and if he didn't win it, it would probably be Virgil van Dijk. So although they're not getting the glamour of Arsenal being in the Champions League or even Man United in the Europa League, the Premier League is the harder thing to win. It's done from August till May, and Liverpool have been the best team from August till May. Maybe Arsenal will win the Champions League. Well done. It's a tough tournament to win, but the Premier League is the hardest club competition, I think, in world football. Argue in the chat. And Liverpool have won it. Secondly, Arne Slot coming in, I find it baffling the disrespect he actually still gets. There may be some in the chat here where, oh, it's an easy job. He's come in and taken over from Jurgen Klopp. It's an easy job. I can sort of see that, look, it's an easier job than Amrim's got at Man United. You're coming into 10 years of a mess with terrible owners. You're not going to win the league in year one. If you come in and replace Klopp, who was building foundations, you've got a better chance of winning the league. But it's still ridiculously hard to do that because, and there's got to be an acknowledgement that Liverpool Football Club got it spot on. Whether Liverpool fans like their ownership or their leadership team or whatever, they got it absolutely spot on. They saw that Jurgen Klopp was building something. They didn't want Jurgen Klopp to go. Jurgen Klopp went and they decided that they weren't going to spend a load of money dismantling the team and rebuilding it. They wanted somebody to come in and finish the project. It was a brave move and it was the right move. And it's ended up with the Premier League title, which is very difficult to win when you think that Man City have won 4 of the last 5. That was everybody's absolute nailed on pick to win the title this year. And don't come at me saying Man City haven't won it because of 115 or anything like that, or Rodri or this, that and the other. They were still the pick to win the title by a very long way, regardless of a court case that everyone knew about, regardless of the fact that Rodri got injured, and regardless of the fact that Pep was going into his final year. Liverpool have done very, very well to take a title that no one was really predicting them for. And some people were saying that this was going to be the downfall of Liverpool with Klopp going. So for Slot to come in and slot in so well is remarkable. Even more remarkable that he's got to deal with the likes of Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Salah, Robertson, established players that have won Premier League titles and Champions Leagues at that club. He's got to come in as an Eredivisie coach with no, pedigree at the top level and get those players to play for him and hit the ground running as well. Let's not forget, Liverpool have only lost 2 games this season. They've never given anybody a hint or a sniff of getting back into this title race, whether that be Arsenal, Chelsea, or whoever else thought they might have done it at some point. There was never any slips. I'd forgotten they'd lost 2. That's because I remember the one game, which was just totally and utterly out of the blue at the time, but makes a little bit of sense now. Forest winning 1-0 at Anfield at the time was a shock. You look at the season Forest have had and how they've beaten a lot of teams like Man City and other clubs by a goal and defending well. Liverpool were the first people to sample that. I couldn't remember the second loss, but it was Fulham the other week, sort of towards the end of the season when they were out the Champions League. So 2 losses across the season is incredible. Look, there will be other teams that have won the league with 2 losses or less. Arsenal won it as an invincible, but that is in itself probably not mentioned enough as well. And look, as I say, there's been a bit of a drop-off recently, but you'd expect that across a 9-month season. I think the Champions League obviously hurt them a little bit, but they're going to win it by a vast amount of points. They are trajecting, as I said the other day, towards what you would expect to win the title with. They're not going to end up far off what Man City won the title with anyway. They'd have got more points if they needed to. Liverpool have won this title scarily in 4th gear. And that was the thing I wanted to say. I feel like Liverpool have won the title in 4th gear. I don't think they ever had to go to gear 5. And maybe if they'd had to go to gear 5, they might have dropped down to gear 3 and bottled it. But they never needed to. And I think that's a really important thing as well. So, yeah, I don't like the fact that they've levelled up with Man United on 20 titles. I don't like the fact that they might go ahead of us next year. But if your club's being run badly like Manchester United, and it's not about Manchester United, I'm even allergic to it, then other clubs that are run well will come back. I mean, Man United were miles behind Liverpool when Sir Alex Ferguson came in and said he's going to knock them off the perch, and he did. And Liverpool went into a long period of failure. Liverpool have had a renaissance recently. Jurgen Klopp built it. Slots took it on. I, for one, am very interested to see what Liverpool do over the summer, whether this is going to be the start of something or whether it's going to be hard to do it again. I want to see a competitive Premier League. I'd quite like to see somebody else win it next year for obvious reasons, but also because I don't want to see domination in the Premier League. I don't think anybody does. And I do quite fancy Arsenal next year, as I've said before. But Liverpool could, if they buy well and they've kept the likes of Van Dijk and Salah, there's no reason to expect a huge drop off, and you'd expect them to be there next year. But this is about this year. Liverpool are champions of the Premier League. They deserve the credit. They've been the best team by a long way, and there can be no doubts about why they're going to win the Premier League. I think Arne Slot deserves to be named Manager of the Year. There's not many managers that have come in and won it in their first year. I think Jose Mourinho did it in 04-05, didn't he, with Chelsea, and that was a fantastic team. And in many ways, you'd have to say that this Liverpool team sort of echoes that as well for quality, defence, and the amount of games they've not been beaten. And yeah, as I said, to only lose 2 games, to be doing it in 4th gear, to have players that are going to win Player of the Year, there can be no arguments. And I've said this before as well. People may look back at this Premier League season and say it's one of the most boring Premier League title races and there's been no relegation. I think that's too simplistic. Some of the best Premier League seasons we've ever seen weren't because they were the best Premier League sides we've ever seen, were because we got title races. It's not Liverpool's job to get someone in a title race. That was Man City's job. That was Arsenal's job. They failed to get close to Liverpool. Liverpool haven't done anything out of the ordinary. As I said, it's not a low points total and it's not a massively high points total. It's a normal title race campaign where they're going to finish around with what Man City have for the last 4 years. But unfortunately, there's no second place team getting anywhere near them. Now, that's because Arsenal didn't buy a striker. Man City have got their own review to do. And there isn't really anybody else. Liverpool were better than everybody else, and they've won the league title. We might not like it as United fans. We might not like it as other fans, but they are worthy champions. And maybe it would have been a bit greedy of Liverpool fans to expect to win, the Champions League as well. They did very well in the Champions League. I think that we're here talking about Liverpool winning the Champions League. Let's not forget their record. We're here talking about Liverpool winning the Premier League. But let's not forget their record in the Champions League up until the knockout stage was incredible as well. It's been a very good season. And I think the unsung heroes of that Liverpool team is probably the midfield as well. I think Alexi McAllister, Gravenberch have been magnificent. And supplemented by the likes of Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones has dipped in and a couple of others as well. But that midfield, you win games in the midfield. And we do spend a lot of time talking about Salah and we talk about the defence and Van Dijk and Alisson and Trent and all these people. But Liverpool don't win that title without that midfield as well. I think they deserve a shout out as well. From a neutral who doesn't want them to win the league, I'll always go back to what Jurgen Klopp did the summer before last, where he rebuilt a whole midfield in 3 months. And it just showed you can do it. And that was the start of this journey. And Jurgen Klopp does deserve a shout out as well. I'm sure Arne Slot will give it. He deserves the praise, but I'm sure Arne Slot will say, there's no way I could have done this without the foundations of what Jurgen Klopp left as well. So that's all you're going to get, Liverpool fans. Worthy champions. Well done. Premier League winners 2025. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. Get your comments in below. Why do you think this happened? Where do you put the praise? And where do you think it went wrong for other clubs as well? Love to hear all that. What are your thoughts on Liverpool as champions? What are your thoughts on why nobody got close to them this year? And do you agree with me that Liverpool actually did it in 4th gear? No one really tested them. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Take care and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.